trying to remember what happened last time. Because it's been a while.
Yeah.
Do you remember your crazy scheme, Mikey? Crazy scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's coming back to me. We had the leftover boxes that we didn't smash. And we were using them as leverage to bring out some baddies.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. We want to lure out the Krupp grey caps. Here we go. So then we talked to Stillwater. Agreed. We went back to the top of Brenner's farm to talk to Stillwater.
Mm-hmm.
And he's on board with luring out these Krupp grey caps. And he will set up a war chest. The most troublesome warmonger to come and take is what I've written down here, which is fascinating.
Also, you've misgendered Corporal Stillwater as well.
Oh, did I?
For a start.
What is their gender?
Well, she, her are her pronouns.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't see her Twitter bio, to be fair, so I didn't know that. It wasn't written down in front of me. So that's our plan. The rest of my notes look like them ramblings with Madman.
Do they ever not?
Yeah, not really. So that was what we're doing. So we're doing it, but I think we still had to go back and talk to the council about all this. That were like keeping our plan dumb. But it seems like things went badly as they declared war on the Sylvaneth. We met Onderon, who said that Astrid is a baddie, and we're holding a suspicious meeting with the Grey Caps. And then we entered the tower. We entered the tower, and there's a naked chef dwarf butchering meat, and we kill him. That was my final note.
You did kill him.
Yeah, now I remember. Dreadbark attempted to disable the terrifying naked dwarf chef in the cannibal kitchen filled with like chopped up meat and hanging bits of meat and blood and excrement and guts and shit. And he just like did a bit too well and just kind of railway spiked. It's, in Fallout with the railway spike gun. Just kind of did that and just completely destroyed this little creature. And we therefore are not going to get any information out of it because it is dead.
My notes lose the thread of like cohesion, unfortunately. I've written all down, but I have no idea why we're in the tower. But yeah, we had a crazy scheme to lure out the Grey Caps with Stillwater. But we're in the tower. Is that part of our crazy plan, or was that just because we're trying to investigate the whole Astrid thing?
It's Astrid's tower, isn't it? She's in the top of the tower and has mysterious meetings with certain Grey Cap soldiers who go in the dead of night. And sometimes are not seen to leave or something. Very, very, very dodgy shit going down.
Yeah. So ultimately, you went to that council of war. It was very obvious that Astrid and dwarf man
Goldmane
Coldrock were not interested in peace anymore, and Onderon told you that he thinks Astrid Tavera is corrupted, and you need to find evidence of her corruption so he can potentially salvage what's happening. So she is one of the leaders of the council. She's pretty much been very pro-war since the start, and she was on the diplomatic entourage, or whatever you want to call it, and wasn't very helpful, basically. So, and every time you've met her in like the council things, she's been very much like, yeah, not even putting up with the idea of anything but war and fighting the Sylvaneth. And yeah, so Onderon's tasked you with finding out some corruption and sent you to her tower to find some evidence and also to subdue her, incapacitate her in any way you can. And where we left off, you'd gone in the servants' entrance of the tower, where you'd come across a kitchen filled with blood and meat and gross kitchens stuff, and a dwarven.
Generally, a red flag sort of kitchen.
Yep, and a meat cleaver wielding dwarf in a leather apron who made a run for it, and then I believe Dreadbark managed to whip an arrow out and get him before he raised the alarm.
Was he actually naked, or did I make that up?
See, I think, annoyingly, you're right.
I'm pretty sure you did say that he was.
Sorry,
naked.
should we just take a moment to appreciate that? Because that's a sentence that the Mike doesn't get to hear very often.
No.
That's true.
My worry is when I defaultly think of a chef in an apron, I just assume you can see an arse at the same point. But you did specify they were naked, so that was good.
I'm going to the wrong.
So, an elderly dwarden with an eye patch who smokes a cigar. No mention of nakedness, though.
I think I just
no mention of not nakedness.
Maybe you mentioned nakedness, that's why it's in my head.
That's why I think I Mandela effect of
Like,
like I say, it's just where my mind goes when I think of chefs in an apron.
Well, we've learned something about Michael Danger Walker. Wait, Michael Danger Powers.
That's it.
So, and Vargi has joined you now.
Yep. Yes.
You were always there. So, you're inside this gross kitchen, surrounded by all this rotting meat. There is the door you came through, and another door leading out of the kitchen.
It was tough to say.
Onwards.
Yeah. Well, I'm not prepared for this. So you exit the kitchen and you find yourself in what can only be described as an entrance hall. The front door, which you spotted, was guarded from the outside, which you did not go into. And on the other side of this entrance hall is a stairway leading upwards. Yes, and this entrance hall looks like it is in quite a bad state. It looks like it's unused. It looks like Astrid, for whatever reason, is not concerned with maintaining a clean house. There's things cluttered everywhere, paintings roughly hanging off the walls, the wallpaper peeling and the paint fading.
Seems our lady counsellor is failing to keep up appearances these days.
Well, I for one think it's quite the red flag. As they say, tidy workshop, tidy mind. Accent. Very untidy.
So, whilst you're inside the tower, every time you enter a new zone, you must make a stealth test. If you wish to be stealthy, that is. If you're not bothered, you don't need to bother, but...
I mean, it seems like we should probably try.
Yeah, we've got to give it off a try.
Last time I failed the roll and I fell over and gave myself away.
Yeah,
We remember.
I mean, the alternative is just like stomping up the stairs, all bold as brass, you know.
Yeah, I mean, in the ways of the stealth test, it's like failure is the same as not attempting. So you may as well.
Yeah.
That's
4.
Oh. Sorry.
How many did I need?
Just the one there.
1 sec, sorry, I forgot to. I accidentally closed the tab.
Athematic boot dampeners. Like a Phobos Marine.
Actually, a terrific idea. Maybe I'll make that for my next creation. By the way, just did we have a? Was there an endeavor in between?
No.
I can't remember now.
I don't think so.
No, that's fine.
I think we've been too busy. I think we've been like, there hasn't been more than like an hour or two's downtime between.
That's cool. Just checking in case I would have had a chance yet to make custom day in a weapon creation Excel spreadsheet.
Does sound like that should begin with K's at the beginning of the words and be an orc thing. Yeah, custom.
Orcs very apt with spreadsheets.
Custom mega sheet.
Nice. Nice, that works nice.
Okay, so you're all alone in this entrance hall. The only way is up.
Go up.
Let's get down.
Okay. So as you creep up the spiraling staircase, you can hear voices. The banter and chit-chat of a couple of guards you easily recognize. But as you get closer, you hear the nature of their conversation has a kind of morbid tone to it as they discuss an upcoming war and all the potential slaughter and bloodshedding that they can achieve with it. And you spot a couple of grey caps standing in what looks like a dining hall with battle axes smeared in blood.
Ooh. That doesn't sound like standard grey cap issue equipment. Well, now.
Starting to get these. Just kitchen and filthy, rundown, bad guy. The blood and the talk of murders.
Much as I wouldn't put enjoyment of mass murder beyond the average human soldier in this place, I have to agree. I don't think we're going to be likely to negotiate with these men. Does the staircase go any higher? The one we're on?
Yeah, so it's because it's an octagonal tower, the stairs go up, and then the first floor is just one big dining hall, and then you can see the stairs going up as well.
But we've got to cross the room.
So like classic.
To get them, or does it keep going up?
It keeps going up, classic Wizard's Tower style.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Around
each
the
floor is basically one big room.
Yeah.
Like a helix around the edge of the tower is the trap. Yeah, okay. So we don't need to go into the room in order to continue climbing the stairs. Is the question I've got in my head?
It would be quite tricky for 4 sizable warriors to sneak past their notice. And as you
Hey, who are you calling sizable?
Well, I would say you're big boned, but you're big armoured.
Armoured. Big armoured, big armed.
And as
Six-parted.
you're
Maybe.
as you're discussing or whispering on the stairs, you see coming down from the second floor another pair of grey caps in in a similar way on some sort of patrol. They don't look like they're coming straight down towards you as one of them turns to talk to the other two in the dining hall. But you feel like maybe their patrol will lead them down the stairs that you're on, so you may need to act fast or you'll be detected.
Right, well, sounds like it's Sneak or Barney.
Vargi just gestures at his polygun, being like,
Dreadbark just kind of shrugs in resignation. He's not much of a sneaker, really. All right. Should we try and get the drop on him?
So you all pass your stealth test, so you should all get surprised round.
Sweet.
Yep, boy.
One assumes, based on our understanding of where we are on the stairway and the room and things, that even a mild sound of any fighting would be very likely to that room next to it, right?
Correct. If it's a gun, yes.
I wasn't talking about the gun. I was like, would other things, like Vargi might hold off on firing his gun for said purpose unless he thought that that the others would be able to get. What would Vargi's read on the environment be? I think, based on what?
I think he would say that, well, being a tactician, TM, I think he would know that volley gun's probably going to alert the whole tower.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Big tactician brain. That one for sure.
Yeah. But arrows and thrown weapons that don't make noise, probably your best bet. The best balance between stealth and lethality. I don't know about your Mandy blasters. They might be, if you get in close.
It's probably loud like everything else, but. In the meantime, they are loud. Vargi just gestures again at the others, being like, starting to be like, guys, do something.
All right, so Call of Duty 4 vibes, right? It's a sneaky level. There's 2 guards in this room. Can I kill one of them without the other one looking if it's silent?
Well, they're all talking with each
other.
Or are they chatting to each other? They're all chatting to each other now. You might have to move from Call of Duty, go into Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. Potentially tagging
the
one
targets.
each. Yeah.
Synchronizing.
Okay. Using Sylvaneth battle sign, Dreadbark will signal to the rest of the party that he's gonna take out the one on the right.
Okay, we can do. You can just roll your hits, and then we can do it sequentially if you want.
Okay. I'm going to do a take aim.
Okay.
First, on my nominated target, which puts my accuracy up by 1 to make it. Oh shit! I forgot I've added all these fucking extra talents. Jesus. Yeah, if I get a cold shot, I deal 1 extra damage. Okay, that's fine. So what's their defense?
Average.
Okay. My accuracy is great for this. So it's...
It's called Noir Procedural.
Nice. So we get all 6 successes.
Nice.
And because there's a cold shot, there's a crack shot, I get +1 damage.
And your base damage is 1 or 2?
Base damage is 1, I think, plus strength.
Okay.
Yes.
You managed to take this guy out pretty handily, probably straight through the chest. Twang against the wooden panels of the wall. The other 3 guards like turn to spin towards the stairs. Who acts next?
Vargi gesticulates at Dreadbark. I don't think he's really stopped at this point.
Yeah.
But he, using his tactician's mind, points at the next target. Encourages a faster second shot. And you tactician a bit. Allow Dreadbark to take another shot.
Yeah.
With +3 dice to your pool.
Oh, splendid. Okay. Yeah, quick reload then.
Maybe that's what he did. He just took the arrow out for you and strung it.
Good. So I won't get the take aim bonus because that was my original target. So
yeah,
I'll be wounding on 3s this time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do this and I'll just add the 3 dice separately. Ballistic skill on 3s. Come on now. Oh wow, okay. So it's just 6 successes again, but I'll do the extra 3 dice.
It's fine. You nailed another one.
You're dead.
Thunk.
Yeah.
And he'll use his metal then to take the dodge action, and but duck into some sort of cover.
Fine. Klaus or Sichuan? New hench Sichuan, are you doing anything?
Yo.
You go on, Klausy.
Klaus is gonna... The flurry of hand gestures similar to Vargi's. He uses Tactician talent on Dreadbark. A +4 to his dice pool.
Oh, I see your tactician, and I raise you. I think
a slightly better tactician. This is. I was very happy to hear you taking the tactician talent with the intention of using it on Vargi and others. But you didn't tell me it would be bigger.
I didn't realise either until you just said yours. But apparently you had your mind. My mind's 4.
Yeah.
I'm now unhappy at this element, but proceed.
Did we learn that you can do... Oh no, it was once per turn, right? So a character can't do it twice, but the party can do it twice.
I will double check, but I think that was our...
Yeah. Alright, well go on then, Dreadbark.
Okay.
Everyone's...
So it's 3s again. Basically the same roll again.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Same damage or more.
Okay, cool. So that's the 3rd one dead.
Anyone else got a tactician talent?
Yeah.
It's getting a bit Helm's-Deep now.
A creature can only benefit from this effect once.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I had to. I wish I had checked first.
Yeah.
I wish.
All right. Sorry, Klaus. You might have to do something else.
Seems legit. All right. They leap back up from the dead.
Well, pretty useless in the combat form, but if we've still got a pretty... Doesn't sound like we're doing pretty well, but I might as well step in and do my buffs if it's going to help anyone, because I can't do much else to attack.
Well, there's... Yeah, I mean, there's two guards left. We've got 2 players who haven't acted. If you kill them all in the surprise round, you will maintain your stealth.
You don't get any actual bonus to attacks, do you? The stealth just gives you anything for you don't get more ability to hit or more damage or anything.
Not if you don't have any talents or anything that say that.
Pretty useless at all this kind of thing.
You got like 15 metal points. If you don't get him in one hack, you can get him in like the next 4.
Yeah, but knowing I'll just lunge at him and miss and bang off a bell. And...
You're driving a stolen car.
Not.
We are mere hours since you said.
This is not the same.
Live young and free.
This is not the same tabletop RPG system. This is Soulbound. It's very buttoned up, you know.
Yes. In Soulbound, it says, play this like you're driving your grandma to church.
Exactly.
I'd like to make a correction to an earlier statement I made. Earlier, I said on the that Sichuan likes to drive a stolen car until one gun is pointed at him, but it turns out you actually don't need any. What you need is an unaware guard.
I'm a famous fluffer of the crew. Okay, I'm not a doer. You know.
Famous fluffer.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware that the fluffers got their own fame.
You fail to kill Klaus could potentially kill.
All right. You know what? Okay, I quite like the idea of like lunging from on high with a giant battle axe. Let's do it. All right. I'll target one of them and just go swinging my great axe.
It's a mistake in listening to Milo trying to emasculate you. This classic mistake.
I always get because I always look at my character icon. It was big old axe, but I forget how useless he is with it. But it looks so cool. I want to do it. So it's kind of
cool if you do kill him.
It will be cool if I do. You're right. You're right.
You've got body 4 now, don't you, or something?
Yeah, I did something like that, didn't I? Where's he gone?
So you should have at least
body 3. Body 3.
Oh, okay.
the deflation in your voice. Hey, okay.
Okay.
Right, swing attack.
And with but 2 metal, it's like 9 dice.
Exactly. What's the right? So what's his defense?
Average.
Sweet. So that is 4. That's pretty good. And let's see. I've got my. What have I got? That's the age-old question, isn't it? What have I got? You know.
Mm-hmm.
That is what we don't often know. I'm going to see. Yeah, I'm trying to think what I'm going to do with my focus and my weapon skill. I'll give a +1 with that. There we go. Right, great. Let's go. Hiya. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. 4 hits. Here we go.
That's 5 damage. You nearly killed one in one go.
Sweet. I'll use my metal to do another swing, I guess.
Do it.
Go
on, son. Go on, son.
Thanks, guys.
Have him.
Yeah. Oh! Great.
Wow. You just needed to believe. In the heart of the cards.
I guess that one extra body does make a bit of difference, I think, actually.
Makes one bit of difference.
Yeah.
Yes, you managed to chop down one.
Nice.
Maybe he had his back to you, looking at this big Dreadbark. Didn't see the little golden dwarf coming up behind him.
Well, theoretically, if I have 1 action and 2 metal, don't I still have another thing I can do?
Yep.
Action to attack, metal attack again. Is it just Klaus attack still?
Yep.
Well, I'll buff him up with a bit of the classic damage. I'll
a really quiet saga.
Really quiet suck.
Yeah.
It does say I've got to hear me, I suppose. Maybe that doesn't make most sense actually. That's supposed to be quite roaring and you know what? Okay. I'll just leave it. It's fine. He can have the glory. Go for your final kill. I'll save the metal, even though I regenerate it.
You better make like my great grandpa. Flamehead stabber face.
I don't know if I want someone called Stab Her Face.
Stab her face.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, it's not. It's still really bad.
So everyone's got plus damage, have they?
It doesn't seem canonically like I'd be able, because it's supposed to be like rousing and loud.
Yeah. Well, you can always soften the other guy up with an axe.
Well, I can chain it. They're close enough. I can just keep attacking.
Yeah.
Fine.
They're all
Yeah,
within
right.
melee.
Fine. Yeah. Why not 8? One more swing of the dice. Am I doing this right? If I've got a focus, I can use that every attack. I can use my focus to do plus. Sorry, my weapon skill to do +1 to the bonus, right?
Yeah.
Or is that metal that's given the +1? That's my.
So the metal, you double your training dice, or you double your focus. But you add your training to your dice pool, and you can use your focus point.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. So I'm training fine. That's fine. Cool. Great. Oh, only 2. Yeah, 2 and no, just 2 in that one.
All right. So you got 1 armor, so it's only 1 damage. So you got one who's a bit hurt. So Klaus, it is all down to you.
How many left?
Got this.
Just the 1 left.
Or
no pressure.
bigging me up too much.
Well, I know arcane bolt's pretty good.
Saying we're on for a teaming.
Gosh.
This is like a team tournament. And you just gotta beat that Votan player, no pressure.
I arcane bolted.
Okay, nice. So with the 2 focus, that's 4 successes. So you hit him, he takes the hit, square in the chest, stumbles back, but he's still up.
Battle and shoot another.
Pachow. This one goes right in the face. Head snaps
The
back.
chow is clearly something that Klaus would say while casting.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe that all happens at once, just like Ghost Recon, Future Warfighter. And they all hit the ground within seconds of each other. Softly, of course. Yeah. They fall on the...
Because Sichuan's right there. He's doing the bit. He's catching the bodies.
He does the Jackie Chan, one with the foot. Catches the Ming vase. Yeah. Nice.
We send each other like appreciative male bonding messages over the Vox. Not the Vox.
No one can talk to you on the Spirit Song.
Spirit Song.
But if I could, I'd send good vibes on it.
You just give Gougethorn FOMO.
Oh, he's already got.
He would have loved this. This would have been so Gougethorny.
Yeah.
Although, there would have been 1 left, and Gougethorn would have been going up, and we'd be like, that now, tree man, and then he'd get there. And he'd start fucking just tearing their calves and hamstrings apart and torturing them loudly.
Yeah, I mean that is literally what he has to do.
What guys? I did my job. Yeah.
Literally, his KPI is how many tendons severed per month.
Yeah.
Gross. Sorry, shouldn't have said that.
No,
Very unpleasant.
The rending rate is
nice.
It's probably 90%. All right, cool. So you lower all the bodies down onto the dusty, thick carpet in this dining hall, which is just as cluttered and messy as the rest of the house that you've seen. And on the big dining table, there is a huge map of Greywater Fastness. Yes.
I think we should examine the map, you guys.
See if it's got any strings tied to dots, crossing points, big red X's on it, anything like that.
Yeah, kind of.
Unfortunately, no incriminating.
Just literally like pulled out
Attack
of the old.
here. Do this next.
It's just like a map from one of those little old A to Z guide books you have in your car that has all the pages and maps. And it's very boring, is it?
Yeah, she's not as stupid as the Skaven one, unfortunately.
I like that one.
Um.
Interesting.
But yes.
Okay. Slightly disappointing, but that's okay. Is there anything else? Is there anything else of note that we should be? I mean, Dreadbark will just kind of like skirt round the room looking for anything else of note, or listening out for any other guards that might be coming down the stairs.
Mm-hmm. Roll me awareness.
Not going to be great. What's the DM?
Just 4. Just 4.
Nice.
Okay. So you don't find anything within this room that's very interesting. It's quite a lot of clutter as well, so it would take you a while to sort of sift through. And you don't hear any more guards.
Okey-doke. Dreadbark signals as much and points towards the stairs up.
Yes.
To everyone, whoever's directly behind him in the marching order, presumably Vargi or Sichuan. I don't know though, because it was Klaus.
Vargi's still probably in an alcove.
Yeah, Vargi's probably.
Looking
stay at the back.
longingly at his polygon.
Vargi has returned to the Travelodge.
My skills aren't wanted here. I'm going home.
All right. So are you going up the next set of stairs?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So roll me stealth checks again, please, as you move into a new zone.
Here we go, lads. This is where it all falls apart.
Lads.
If we get caught out failing stealth test now after ghost reconning it, please.
Well, won't be my fault.
But I think I know whose fault it might be. On padding.
Wah, wah. Double 1.
Wait.
What? You can reroll 1s?
Backup plan talent. I've not used yet. Even the best laid plans don't always work out. You know, it's important to have a backup plan, and if you fail a test, one of the dice rolled was a 1, you could roll the test, but it's 16.
Oof.
That means I need to get 2 successes.
Yes.
What does it mean I need? Wait.
It's a 4-2 now.
Yeah, well.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we can do it. Everyone else has done their test, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Klaus, we need you to do yours.
Oh, Vargison.
It's fine, because I'm going to get successes right now. Backup plan.
Just so you're aware,
more lightly.
The party's stealth is entirely reliant on Vargi now. This is entirely on you. So
Yeah, and I want to know what the backup plan is, regardless of if it passes or fails. What do you stuff in your boots?
Oh, breakout uniform.
Fine.
Oh no! Oh no! Look, guys,
I
gave it my all.
Out.
I used my once per rest talent for you.
Okay.
Oh dear.
So.
The Vargi thinks he's found it out a bit, right?
Yeah. So as you're coming up these stairs, what noise do you think Vargi sort of makes that's a bit not very stealthy?
It depends if it's like a fail or a not, because I like the idea that he's like a sort of a passive or an active failure. I quite like the idea that he's actually sneaking pretty well and his padding's all worked out and he's quite chuffed with himself. But he's just focused on that and his volley gun knocks over a vase or something.
Mm-hmm.
While he's like. That's what I would like the most. But if it's not as dramatic as that, probably just the clunking that he can't hear properly himself in his helmet.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't want to make him seem like he's too silly, but I do like the idea of just one of your many things,
just
instruments,
on something,
like maybe hooks on like a sort of a wall painting, a portrait, and you just pull it along the wall, and then it just falls down.
Yeah, something like that's perfect.
Yeah, it doesn't make like a big noise, but makes a noise, and then you hear from above the above floor, someone say, "Oh, what was that? Go check it out." And you feel as though a grey cap is coming towards the stairs.
Get a distinct sense.
Yeah. Maybe you hear them being like, "Oh, give me a name. Give me a name." Someone got a name for me? Fantasy name. What?
Dramula.
Dramula?
What a name for?
Like a guard. It's a guard's name.
Rickard.
I'm not saying
What's that?
Rickard.
Rickard.
Oh, Rickard.
I said Rickard.
Rickard.
Your mic's not very good. It cut out in the middle.
What happened to a fancy mic anyway?
What?
A fancy mic anyway. You see?
Nothing. That's what I'm using. It's just a little bit further from my mouth than it probably should be. Is that better?
Certainly.
All right. So Rickard. Yeah. I think you hear a guard being like, "Oh, bloody Rickard's knocked over something again. Go sort it out, will you?"
Metal Gear, like, stealth section always goes off.
Yeah. So
well, shit.
What's the plan, team?
They a tripwire. Comes down the stairs, trips and dies.
He's detected Vargi, but the rest of us, I mean, can we just, like, throw Vargi to the wolves and just pretend we're not there? Yeah.
Rickard.
Sorry. Of course.
You've made a noise. There is a guard coming to investigate.
Oh, we got time then.
As gamers, you should know this feeling very well.
Yes. Are there any cardboard boxes or barrels we can hide in?
Not on the stairs, no. You have maybe 5 seconds before you're discovered.
Back down the stairs. Well, can't we all just scurry back down the stairs?
I think you're so far up the stairs, you would not be able to get down the stairs and around the corner and hide before he crests the stairs. You can try.
Dreadbark will knock an arrow and aim at the stairs.
Okay.
I'll turn the top of the stairs into a volcano if that is the way that a zone works. Probably not if it's on the wall. The stairs are probably a zone, aren't they? Bug.
Fine. So Dreadbark, you see a grey cap crest like coming around the corner towards the stairs, and spies you and your notched arrow. Their eyes go wide.
Cold shot right between the eyes.
Loose.
Gonna go Kathunk.
I hope it's going to go thunk, but like through the head rather than into the wall.
Not Kaplunk. Not like the game.
I wish it were Kaplunk. All right, on twos then. Whap. It's a big 8 damage.
Yep. This one goes straight up through, maybe like through the throat, silencing the guard as he tries to call in alarm. He just gurgles, and then just falls down the stairs. Sichuan catching him again.
What?
You're the fluffer. You gotta.
It's a famous fluffer, yeah. That doesn't involve catching
corpses
random falling corpses, but I guess, well, yeah. Why not? Jack of all trades, eh?
Write your own job description. Yeah, we just wrote it for you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Happy with that.
Apply for the job you want. All right, cool. So you can continue ascending if you wish. As you maybe stay for a few moments and there's no further noise.
Yeah, but I guess we better hurry, or else they're gonna wonder where their matey went.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll set off up the stairs.
Vargi stands back a little and lets the party advance slightly further ahead than such that were he to make a noise, maybe less of a problem.
Yeah. Who's
so, burning with shame? Actually, I don't think he really would be, but he's probably a bit annoyed.
Yeah. Doesn't sound very Vargi-esque.
Yeah.
No.
Would he be like inventing already in his head like something to sort of rectify this issue, or is he like?
He is basically inventing Phobos armor, right?
Yeah.
Later.
You want to be able to turn your head.
Make the Volleygon.
You've already gone.
More portable.
Exactly. Volleygon.com, the one-stop shop for all your Carriage-on news.
Maybe he could be designed. So uncanny. And again, they're innovators.
Mm-hmm.
More on this next time when I completely change my crafting plans.
Yeah.
To something I'll never, ever, ever use.
Stealth balloon suit. Cool.
Thinking tiny little flying boat shoes.
Boat shoes?
Well, you know, like a skyship, but for your feet.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant like actual boat shoes.
Well, they could look like boat shoes also, but they probably will look more like ship shoes, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Then he can just gently waft up the stairs.
Nice. Yeah, you can call them the... Who's the messenger of the gods? Mercury. Hermes, yeah, you can call them your Hermes boots.
You're on fire tonight.
Cool. So who's leading the way? Is it you, Dreadbark?
Happy to.
Yeah, I mean your bow seems to be something that is good to have up front.
Seems to be our most reliable silent killing machine, certainly.
Correct. So you get to the top of these stairs and you follow actually a narrow corridor that follows the outside of the tower. And eventually you get to a entranceway leading into the center of the tower, and you can see 4 doors. And this guard who you heard talking is there. Sort of sharpening his axe. And like giving it some practice swings.
Are they practice combat swings? Or is he like pretending to cut down a tree like, this'll get him?
I think he's just enjoying like the whistling of the blade through the air, the stuffy air. Maybe there's some sort of like big curtain drapes that he's kind of slicing into. It's very satisfying. But it looks like this is like a series of smaller rooms, perhaps some sort of guest quarters.
Well, it's probably kill another one.
It's Pachow time.
Yeah.
All right then.
Well, unless anyone is tapping Dreadbark's shoulder, being like, "No, we have to interrogate him." Yeah, it's going to be the twang.
I sure hope we've made the right decision as we go up here, silently everyone in this building.
Yeah, suddenly, if she turns out to be the good guy, we're going to have egg on our proverbial faces. All right, here goes. Wang. Yep, that's another 8 damage.
Still not rolled more or less than 5 successes.
Very odd. It's a different roll each time. Like I've not hacked it.
It's very on point on probability. So this guy in the split second of hearing the patwang, he like pauses mid swing and then spins. This one spins as you take him in the shoulder.
Now I'm a bit worried about his big axe going just like spinning on the spot and then falling down and clanging.
Yeah, don't worry, your fluffer jumps in and catches it.
You can do so much more than just catch things, yeah.
Catch things in Volcano.
Indeed.
Catch things in Hurricane.
Indeed.
Yep. Cool. So, do you investigate any of the rooms?
Yeah, so you said 3 doors, right?
Oh, it's Milo's Pizza's arrived.
Hello? Yeah, sell. Yeah, sell all of it. No, seriously, right now, sell all of it or you're fired.
Sell all of Team 17. Goodbye. Fuck the worms.
Worms.
Oh, he didn't hear any of what we were saying.
We were dubbing you.
Oh, I see.
Yes. So there's four doors on this floor. All quite close to each other, so quite small rooms you would ascertain.
I'll send over the spirit song like, right, sweep and clear, man. Sweep and clear. Keep it frosty. No, none of that happens.
You're a bloody tree man.
You're a bloody tree man. No, I guess I'm gonna go for one of doors.
Okie doke. So I'll just go through because there's only like one of them that's of any interest, but all of them that you go through are all just full of like random crap, like everywhere else. But one of the rooms is different. It contains a collection of many skulls mounted on the walls. You identify many as Skaven, some are human, and some are from strange beasts that you don't even recognize. Dreadbark, you might recognize more obviously from being from the wilderness, from sort of some sort of bigger beasts and things and dangerous predators. And inside the middle of the room is a small plinth, atop which sits a heavy great axe. and the warriors amongst you can tell that this great axe has never been cleaned, as you can see on the blade is many layers of dried blood. Yeah.
Presumably, were Vargi to take a closer look at it as something of a craftsman, really be able to discern for now would be covered in moss. Or is there anything he can tell just by an inspection?
Yeah, I mean it's well made. It's very well made. You would think that someone such as Astrid would have had such a weapon, like someone who was quite senior. But great axes are very aggressive weapons, obviously, very violent weapons.
Yes.
And someone who lives in someone who lives in the Warhammer universe, quite corny.
And all the dried blood and the butchery,
yeah,
all somewhat incongruous with a lady of the conclave.
Exactly. You know that she was a soldier, and you know that people like to hunt, but this seems a bit too disturbing.
Macabre. The
thrill of the macabre.
Are there any other sort of culty or sort of things around? Indicates more to support the potentially prevailing theory that this acts as an indicator of worship of the Chaos Gods. They might not, like Vargi might not be on that thread yet, but does he see anything else that might?
Nothing inherently chaosy. Yeah.
Vargi feels a sense of a peace starting to settle. Is pretty sure we killed the right guy. Just getting the vibe.
Inner peace.
Then he does not touch the axe.
Should I try and gauge if there's any magical properties to the axe?
Yeah.
My skill of Arcana.
Yeah.
Anything related to that? What difficulty would that be?
I think it's the DM4. I think magical telling if it's there you go. Telling if an item is magically infused or not is quite it's probably quite rudimentary. So you definitely do get the sense that this axe is magically enhanced. You almost get the sense that it is hungry for blood, but it is sated, and you can feel like the connection of the skulls with the axe, and you get the sense that this axe was responsible for killing every single skull in this room.
Good girl.
Good Sigmar.
Interesting.
So the axe seems metallic. It's magical, right? Of course, as you said, it's got magic in it. That's fine. Sense gold on the axe.
If in doubt.
No,
Peel
sorry.
back the layers of blood.
No gold.
Just checking.
No gold.
Yeah. Just checking.
Just chicken.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not doing much itself, is it? There.
I will be back in a...
I was going to try and melt it down, but I can't do that. It's a non-magical. It's non-magical weapons. I can't do it. So chuck it in the volcano. That's usually our go-to.
Usually works.
Usually works.
So is this the last room? Is this the top of the tower, or are there more stairs up?
There are more stairs up.
Okay.
There was from the outside you could see there was 4 floors.
Right. I don't know whether we should touch it.
I mean, we can't really use it. It's not doing much harm. Just there.
Yeah, you don't need to touch it if you don't need to, want to.
Turn it to gold.
Can you? It's magical.
You could. Why, though?
Yeah, I don't know. Disturb it. I'm just thinking, do we want to disturb it or not? That's the question. The other people here probably realise or feel it.
Yeah, I don't think there's much benefit to us doing anything with it, to be honest.
Nah.
We're going to find out more about what it's about pretty soon, I'd imagine.
Doing well stealthing, right, so far?
Well stealthed.
Well, stealthy.
All right then. As you've been searching the rooms, I'm going to need you to roll another stealth check.
Oh dear. We are in trouble.
Surprisingly doing well in stealth today.
Oh.
Yeah. Critical.
Let's do Vargi's for him. Oh, he's going to be annoyed that I got a double 6, didn't I, eh? All right. So you hear more guards coming from down the corridor.
Wait, from down, as in downstairs?
So they're coming from upstairs again.
Right.
Coming
Which
to
is where we're going.
Coming to your sort of guest room floor. And you can hear them kind of laughing and chatting.
All right. Well, I guess, knock another arrow. Get ready for some more killing.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, yeah, I mean, just roll. We can assume either Klaus or Vargi gives you tactician, so just roll two tests, and we'll see if on the off chance you roll 5 1s.
1 and +4, right? Tactician.
Yeah, the first one can be cold shot, and the second one can be tactician.
All right, so the first one's on 2s. Okay, we only get 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one's a cold shot, so 1, 2, 3, 4 from the 4, 5 from focus. 6, 7 damage. First one.
Yeah, that's enough to kill one.
Good. And
Thwop.
the second one, reload on 3s. This one is only 5 damage.
But did you include the extra dice from the tactician?
No, from the tactician. One sec.
There
Okay,
you go.
7 damage.
Yeah.
No, 8 damage.
Yeah, so you managed to get both of these. This patrol as well.
Double pat. Fuck me, Dreadbark is gonna need to do some serious thinking about his morals. I mean, these guys are working for a bad person, but we don't know that all the guys are bad.
I mean, they seem pretty like they're drinking the Kool-Aid, but
That is the impression, to be fair, yeah.
yeah.
That's the impression you're giving.
And I think Kurnoth Hunters is their whole thing, right? They go through the forest and they scout and snipe and...
Yeah, true. When
Hunt.
defending the glades.
Yeah.
Not going sneaking into a city and taking out
Yeah.
civilians.
Towers full of
Less
guards.
so.
Yeah.
Less so.
Even though they are slightly chaos worshipping.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing, is that as soon as he had a whiff that these guys are in with the chaos side, he doesn't give a fuck, because he's obviously grieving for all of the poisoned Sylvaneth that are being all evil because of chaos.
Yeah, these guys aren't like your sort of grey caps you'd see out in the streets. These are like their uniforms are all like loose and undone, and they've got these great big bloody axes, and they all kind of look
their ties around their heads.
Exactly.
They're at a wedding in a dance part.
Yeah, it's school.
Having a good time.
School's out for the summer.
Sipping corn Kool-Aid and having a boogie.
At the year 10
At their,
GCSE prom.
At their leavers ball. Yeah.
Wait, is that even year 10? Or is that year 11? I forget.
Year 11, surely.
Seems like such a long time ago.
It's long ago.
Such a long time ago. Right, so we can just cut ahead to you ascending once more. So as you ascend these stairs, you don't see any more stairs leading up from this room, and this appears to be a large bedroom. Just as unkept and cluttered as the rest of the tower, with a large bed, wardrobes, writing desk, and a well-appointed washroom. You do see a set of double doors leading to a balcony, and on top of the balcony is 2 more guards.
We're still stealth.
Pardon?
And we're still in stealth. We got the advantage.
Yeah.
Wish my hurricane could blow people forward, because this would be great if I could just whoosh them off the edge of the boat.
Just Jedi push.
Sigmar!
I mean, you can shove, I think, in this game.
Shove.
I think that's an action.
A big old dwarf charge.
Yeah.
Shove 'em right off. Both dwarves at the same time.
Yeah, we could do like a double barrel.
Do a shove action.
I think that's a thing.
Do we know? I mean, that could be quite fun. I'm up for that. We've got 3 body.
It's up for a little shove.
Sorry, what did I miss?
We
We're
might be
doing
doing a double barrel dwarf shove.
You've moved up to the... Dreadbark's killed 2 more guards on the patrol. And you moved up to the 3rd floor, which seems to be Astrid's bedroom. And there are 2 guards on a balcony.
I mean, there's one little problem with the old shove off a balcony.
The
He's
screamer.
very inconspicuous from the tower, and then it
Killed
can seem very
everyone.
conspicuous from other areas.
We killed everyone else on the way up.
So when the bodies hit the floor from the tower and splat, that's not going to be...
Just let the
Depends
body.
where the base of the tower is. If we think we're in a secure location, then Vargi would be on board with this.
Yeah.
If it's if this is however a tower next to a, I don't know, pub, then he might be against it.
Yeah, it's in the nice area, but there's probably still people around, and there's also guards outside as well that you guard in the front entrance. Yeah.
It is starting to feel a little bit BMX Bandit and Angel Summoner at this point. I feel like someone could I'm not going to go into it. We did this reference last week. The viewers will get bored. Someone could just sort of make a strange noise. Maybe throw a coin or a noise maker.
Oh yeah.
To attract question marks above their head.
Yeah.
Perhaps an athematic bullet.
Yes, perfect. Or I could just shoot them again.
Well, so the thing is, you will need to open the doors first. Otherwise, it'll have to. Sorry, go on, Mikey.
How can we see them if the doors are closed? Sorry.
Because they're glass doors.
Got you there.
And also probably the strength of Dreadbark's bow. There's a good chance they'd fly off the balcony as well.
True.
If you wanted to avoid that.
It's a very strong bow. Good cider.
I have a special weapon planning on crafting. Ever going to be useful? Okay, have we got it? Well,
yeah. Rubber bullets. You need rubber bullets.
I really do.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I've got so much. I've got some stuff. I feel like I could lunge in there with my Prayer of Gremlin's Fury, give him an attack with a freaking melter.
Gotta quietly open the door and go get him, I think.
Oh, the door's not metal. It's glass. Are you serious about that? It's a glass. Are you serious? Glass.
I'm always serious.
You're always serious.
Yeah. About
Have
RPGs.
you ever heard?
It must have. I couldn't picture like glass objects in this world. You know what I mean?
There are flying ships and like all sorts of things wilder than.
I don't know. It's just pretty wild to me.
A nice set of kitchen doors. Impossible.
It must be. They must be affixed with metal. How are they hinged?
They're just like wooden doors, but with windows in them.
And how are they? Okay, right. But also all the hinges are wood. You're saying?
Yes. Metal hinges, wooden doors, glass.
Metal
windows.
hinges. Well, I can melt
brass
the
handles.
metal hinges, and we can just lightly move the doorway.
You could.
Yeah.
This is the most non-reckless plan ever to open a door.
I love it.
Everyone's just freaked out by the door, so I'm just I just want to help, you know. I just want to be a helpful son of a bitch, you know. Come on. Right, I use searing heat to melt the hinges of the door.
Yeah.
Which I can then, for whatever reason, that lets me reshape the metal into whatever form I want. And I'll reform them into some kind of throwing shiv. Oh.
Ooh.
Don't know why if that's viable as a new weapon. I don't know. And then just lightly move the door to one side.
Just takes his sort of shuriken mold out of his pocket and it's like, here you go.
The fucking thing says, when you release your touch, the metal solidifies into whatever shape it has taken. We said this last time. It's a very strangely worded phrase.
Yeah.
But that's how modern metal works.
Into what? What's that? Then we want how it spills down is what you're thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I think the guards may notice if you try to melt the hinges off the doors.
Hear me out. Vargi's probably got rules with him. He could could unscrew the hinges.
Sorry, why would they notice the hinges being melted?
Because I imagine it would take.
Thematically silent.
I think it would probably take 20 seconds at least. I think standing next behind them with the glass door, they probably would notice a big.
I wouldn't stand in front of the glass. I'd stand beside wooden.
More to the point. If you're going to melt the hinges on the doors will fall off. Right?
Look, you can prop it up and
that'll make some noise.
You support the door and then you just move the door.
At the risk of this becoming a conversation about physics, I would imagine that heating the metal such that it was molten would have other effects, like burning of the wood, or the smell of burning, or other things that could be a telltale.
Well, this miracle only works for metal, so it'd be weird if it melted and then burn wood.
Yeah, but if you pour molten metal on wood, probably what happens.
I'm
backing out of this one. I don't have a horse in the hinge race.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Just every ability I have, it's fine. It's useless. It's fine. It's all good.
I mean, doing stuff stealthily always adds another parameter. That's the problem.
Other parameters.
I think. I mean.
Attempt to quietly open the door.
Such a.
Wait. Vargi probably has some sort of oils and things with him.
No, that'll set the door on fire, mate.
No, I'm just saying he could probably.
But actually, so what is the purpose of melting the hinges?
So that we can move. Just look. I'm thinking of have any of you ever taken hinges off a door? Anyone done this DIY work before?
Yeah.
You could remove the door without the hinges of it creaking, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. The hinges just are gone, and you just literally just like a bit of wood. And you just move the wood door silently aside.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just throwing out a plan B. Vargi would be carrying some sort of machining things, of which I imagine some sort of oil or lubricant might be a part of it. Harry. Vargi suggests just oiling the hinges and giving it our very best open.
Cool.
That's what I'm suggesting.
It's very,
for the party.
That's very important. That's driving the Volvo estate. That is.
Yeah, I'm bored already.
Thinking melting the hinges.
It sure is. Just
the
saying
car,
we might not have to get into what happens with molten metals.
Do it.
Right.
Oiler up, Scotty.
Or one door each. Then we'll know who's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's do it and see who's as quiet.
We're gonna have a hinge off.
Yeah,
exactly. Who does the best?
And Ainsley Harriet will ask the guards who did it best.
Then I'm gonna try and make an omelette as fast as I can.
Nice. That always annoyed me because it was like it's not even cooked, mate. It's not even cooked.
It looks shit, man. Shit, man. What a stupid challenge. I don't want to eat that.
I don't care if it took 7 seconds.
You've whisked it with your fingers.
Oh wow!
I don't think he ever whisked anything with his fingers.
No, well, it wasn't him. It was always the guest, so there was always different techniques. Whose show was that on? Was that
Saturday Morning Kitchen or something?
James Martin's. Anyway, we digress.
Yeah. All right. So
yes, that is what we do. Correct.
Yeah, in the chat as well. Clarified Saturday Kitchen. I was talking about Ready City Cook, yes, with the green and red peppers.
So, multiple British cooking
show. Right, so one of you is melting the hinges. One of you is lubing up the hinges.
Yeah.
Okay. Vargi doesn't actually want to be the door opener. He's busy hinging. He's to leave the door opening to someone adept at opening doors. You know what, Vargi will open the door. Fine, the hinge off is on. The hinge off is on.
Right, loving it.
All right, cool.
I was just starting to read the looks I was getting for the room there.
You just had to convince yourself that you had the balls for the hinge off, and you finally got there.
Yeah. Finally, Vargi's turn to be.
All right, and I'll both ask you to roll 4-1 stealth checks.
I mean, the odds have not been kind. To
avoid making any noise or catching the eye of the guards at all.
And I like this especially by both doing made it more difficult.
It's kind of our move.
I'm into it.
Yeah,
okay, here we go.
You all need to do
This
stealth
is
checks?
no, just the two people who are making this way too complicated.
I was trying to help.
It's fine. You've read my blog of the week, looking for trouble. This is clearly what's going on, so I'm into it. It's what the characters would do.
Is there what are the odds, Game Master, that I can use crafting for this test instead?
Oh.
On the basis that it is a mechanical task.
Yeah,
Yes,
and mine's
but-
more magic based.
Yeah, but the competency of the task is different to the stealthness.
True, it's the moving the door
Yeah,
is the moving the door.
Oh, it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
The moving of the door that is the actual.
All right, here we go. I'm rolling.
Yeah, it's just being not... Because I imagine the guards are talking to each other, they're looking out at the view, you know, they're turning their heads. If they catch Karadron armor or a big golden beard...
Stealthy Lubin.
Son of a bitch.
Stealthy.
Well, Vargi doesn't say anything.
Not much better.
He just opens the door, hears a little creak.
Mm-hmm.
Sichuan drops the door.
I think maybe a bit of molten hinge sizzles onto the floor and a guard turns around and sees you.
No, I think it's more. You know that is a gif or a meme of when the big sheet of glass falls to the floor and doesn't crack, and then someone chucks a hammer on it.
Yeah.
I feels like he moves it perfectly.
Yeah.
It's gone absolutely great, and then he like kind
elbows it.
Oh, exactly. He goes, "See, we did it, guys," and gives it a little tap, and it just shatters outrageously.
Yeah.
I think it's something like that.
It had like a hairline crack in it, and it just safety glassed. Fine. So, Klaus and Dreadbark, were you ready to blast them?
I'm going to assume that Dreadbark at least had an arrow ready to go. Yes.
Okay.
We knew that if the hinging operation was successful, we would need to breach immediately.
Yeah, that was the actual the end game.
Mm.
Not to see.
Yeah, while Alex became distracted by the sheer, athletic challenge of the hinge off, Dreadbark was not so distracted.
They're more focused.
All right, go on then. Patwang me.
How do you spell it?
Bang.
Yeah.
I
don't want an answer. All right, we'll call shot on. So there's two guards, are there, on the balcony?
Correct.
So I'll aim for the legs to try and kind of crumple them rather than catapulting them off the balcony.
Okay.
Ideally.
You're going for the Street Fighter shin kick.
Yeah, pretty much. Dude, sweep the leg only with a meter long, 2-inch diameter arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so cool shot on the first one, hitting on 2s. Twang! Yeah, that's the big 8.
Okay, so maybe you aim at the guard, sort of aim where the wall of the balcony is, rather than over, so you don't push him over the edge, you shoot him down.
Exactly, so that if the shot is powerful enough to literally propel him, then it propels his legs into the wall of the balcony, rather than,
You're probably tall enough to get the angle down through
That's
the
true, I'll be taller
torso.
than him.
Yeah. So you kind of skewer him onto the ground.
Wonk.
And I imagine one of the many tacticians of the party convinced you that shooting again might be good?
Diverge to the tactician.
Right.
All right. Here comes the double tap.
Go on, summon your angels. Once more.
Angelic hordes come forth! Freeze this time.
Who's the
but I
being
get
expanded?
I'm really enjoying that Milo has no idea what this reference is to. So the second one is enough. So it's only 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's the 8 damage on the second one.
Just the 8. Ooh, Corn's number. Yeah, you managed to get both. And that one
that reminds me.
And that one just like collapses and smashes his head through the rest of the glass that Sichuan didn't break.
Would you say we've now made some noise?
Well, it's up to you.
I haven't made any noise.
My unrelated point was I got about 30 or 40 minutes into the Angron and the Lion bat rep. I haven't got to the bit where the Primarchs actually get fighting yet. But that reminds me, I must.
Yes.
Just the mention of Khorne.
Yeah.
It's very funny. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Well, I've seen Angron tear apart half a squad of Deathwing Knights in one go, which is pretty
yes.
And that's pre-transhuman removal as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So, like, oof.
Yes, they gave it to him.
They also ruled the Lion having transhuman, which I guess makes sense.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, even though it's like 11 attacks, AP 5.
I wonder what they're gonna do. You know what? We should keep playing this game because we could keep talking about Warhammer.
Yes, we could.
Yes, save it for the 40 comrades. Surely it's nearly time for the 40 comrades these days. Been long enough.
Forever. It's.
Yeah. So you are standing within this room. Maybe you didn't catch it, Milo, but there is no upward staircase in this room.
Okay.
But you knew from your approach that there was actually 4 floors, and you're only on the 3rd. So maybe some awareness checks might be in order.
Could Vargi do a crafting to assess the room and think about where he would put some sort of hidden, levers or mechanics or something like that? Like looking for what is a suitable location for such a device, or the structure of the room, or where a hidden door would go, that sort of thing.
I believe so. Yes.
Very good. The answer.
I think a 4-2.
Well, it just makes it.
Yeah.
I was going to be quite annoyed if he failed it.
So perhaps, because it's a very simple structure, and you've been on several floors already. So maybe you notice that where the stairs would continue, if they existed, instead there is like more wall, like there's like it's been blocked off, and there is a skull-faced statue on the wall, which you kind of investigate and give it some jiggery pokery, and maybe you test the wall for air and stuff, and you manage to slide it aside and reveal a passageway and some more stairs.
Everybody, I found more stairs. Sure will be delightful here. Now if we could just get our scout going up there again.
You do get it. You do get.
Dreadbark's starting to look a little bit like careworn now. Like, really hoping there aren't any more, like, morally ambiguous victims to slaughter. But also, I mean, we've come this far, and there's definitely chaos here. So,
It's becoming less ambiguous.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, Dreadbark will take the sneaky lead again, I guess.
Nice. And Vargi, as you slid this door away, you could hear murmuring voices coming from above through this hall, secret staircase.
Information.
Oh, sorry.
Cool. So yeah, Dreadbark, as you lead the party up the stairs, one
final question.
Mm.
Sorry. Are the voices identifiably male and or female? And or posh and lordly? Or is it unintelligible? Absolutely.
I mean, I think this is all part of the same test, but I think as you can also keep listening as you go up the stairs, and yeah, I think you can tell, you can hear Astrid's voice. You've heard her shouting at you in the Council of the Forge.
In that case, he would, he'll say, "Right, remember we need information here. They have to put this one a little. Don't shoot Astrid."
Yeah, I mean, actually, you don't technically need. I mean, you need evidence. You don't necessarily need information from her. I mean, it helps, but
yeah, I think Vargi's first approach would be your first-hand information.
Fine.
I mean, as evidence goes, I think if we can subdue her and then lead any other kind of like adjudicator into this building and show them the room full of skulls and the blood-encrusted axe. I mean...
Nope. There's no taking like photographs or capturing images to bring back honor in this world. No. So I'm thinking evidence, we maybe do bring the axe back, but then it just seems like a horrible thing to carry. I don't know. I'll be up for that.
It just seems really heavy and
heavy.
But I think Onderan gave you the impression, like, even though he's like quote unquote lawful good guy, like he knows that chaos worshippers very rarely come in quietly, especially Khorne worshippers, and 2, he knows that you guys, as Soulbound, your primary purpose is eradication of chaos.
That's a good point. I edit Vargi's thought matter.
Yeah, but no, it's totally fine if you want it. If that's.
Well, I think it's
a pragmatic approach.
Right, he's a pragmatist, and so he would always want to try and secure the most information or the most best result for that. But he would also know all of them.
Yeah.
And so, perhaps there's a mixture. Or even he would think, though he's not like a paragon of justice, that if we could take her in, there might be.
Yeah.
I feel like of all of us, Dreadbark has probably got the most motivation to try and take her in alive, because she might be able to help us understand what's happened to the Silvernet.
Okay.
Possibly.
He is going to charge at us with 2 axes and a howl the second we see her, isn't she?
Dreadbark knocks an arrow.
Well, let's find out.
All right. So yeah, as you make your way up these stairs, you get to a pair of brass doors, because we know which god loves the brass, right, kids?
Jehovah.
Yahweh. These brass doors are engraved with grinning skulls and smeared with blood.
Ambiguity levels reducing.
Yeah. We're watching Succession at the minute, and there's this bit where they have like a fascist news anchor, and they're like he's got the same. It's like, is your dog the same name as Hitler's dog? And he's like, different spelling.
It's so good. I fucking love that bit.
But yeah, totally like, this is brass. There was a sale on. What are you gonna do? Not
Brass
have a
is
brass
nice.
door?
Goals are in this season.
Yeah, totally.
Blood, everyone's got it.
Yeah. cool. So do you attempt to eavesdrop closer?
Vargi doesn't.
Do you want to listen to what's being said, or do you just burst through?
How many voices are you talking? 2, was it?
You can kind of hear Astrid's voice for sure. But you can hear kind of back and forth murmuring with a couple of other...
What's the hinge situation on these doors?
You know what? It doesn't say.
Wait, can you just melt the whole bloody door?
That's true.
That'd be
I'm just thinking about our breach and clear. It feels like we aren't averse to the wholesale murder of these people. If we breach and clear, we just need a quick entrance, right?
Yeah.
One thing we could do, set up a perimeter, is I can set up my... I guess it would be loud, I suppose. I never thought about the voice, the loudness of the hurricane. But theoretically, if we're breaching and clearing, you know what I mean? It's in one move. It's set up the hurricane, and this, if you are happy to call it from a zone, the next from another zone, so that they can't get through the door. They can't get through the doorway or shoot through the doorway, but we can fucking pelt them if there is more than we think. You know what I mean? Hurricane, kick open door. They're kind of blocked in there. We can just pelt in, and it's more whether you're happy with this room being a zone versus the other room. And if everyone else happy with smash down the door.
Yeah, there's definitely scope for that.
If we just want to actually listen and get more information first, I guess that does. I don't know what more we need to know, but we probably should try at least hear more.
Yeah, I mean,
they might have an explanation for this.
Yeah, I do need to know if anyone is actively listening at all, or not.
I think Dreadbark would try and listen a little bit.
Dreadbark's reserved enough to listen. I think we should go with it because he's the one whose race is under threat. If he's chilled to listen.
Okay.
Does he have ears?
Little barky holes. Where the squirrels hide their nuts.
Oh yeah. Holes full of nuts. Got it.
Yep. Klaus, you all good? What are you up to?
Question.
Would you be going anywhere near the big brass doors, or are you just waiting for the breach and clear to start?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold back. Cast magic shields.
Fair play.
Good to me.
Yeah, so Dreadbark, you hear the following snippets. You hear, "The time is nigh. The streets will run red with blood. Grits, Tree Lord or Skaven, all shall bleed for the blood god." And you hear some kind of murmuring and grunts of agreement and acquiescence, and then you also hear Captain Fournoy's grey caps are massing at the western barracks to prepare for our first battle as we speak. We'll fight them hand to hand as the blood god demands. Blood for the blood god, blood for the blood god. And Captain Fournoy is the tip-off you got from Steelwater. And at the Western Barracks, Vargi, she told the party last week that she had big suspicions that they were quite... Like this guy, Captain Fournoy, he was in charge of the Grey Caps, and he's had a bit of a bad reputation, and he was kind of subtly gathering other Grey Caps with shitty reputations to his Western Barracks headquarters.
Masterful.
Yeah, and she sort of tipped you off, and that's what the plan was with the supplies you got from the Black Cog. Was Steelwater's floating them as it were, to try and lure out any people who were gearing up for a war, perhaps. I believe there was a talk of a Italian beef sandwich catered event as well for the Grey Caps.
Can I be a Grey Cap? When are we going to make that sandwich? Can we plan a sandwich making weekend? Because we might need the whole weekend.
As long as there's a veg option. Have they got a good baked beef yet? Beef?
Don't know. How do you feel about artificial lab-grown meat?
That's fine.
Yeah?
Interested.
Because that might be... You might
Put me down.
Let's have some of that. Lab-grown Italian sandwiches.
I don't think they can grow the bread. That's harder.
I feel like most people can make bread.
The bread is typically grown, although it doesn't start as bread.
That's the thing. I'm aware that bread is made from vegetable products. Just you don't. It's not like a one stage. You can't get bread DNA and put it in a dish and grow it.
I mean,
yet
there's no falsities there.
I mean, that is how they discovered bread, because they just had some watery flour left in a corner, and they were like, "Oh, what's it doing over there? It's yeastifying."
It's delicious. Let's eat it.
Yeah, let's
Thank you so much to those people.
Yeah,
they're brave. Them and the person.
Really, when did they decide we've got some sort of bubbling? Gonna bake it.
Let's fold it and let it get bigger, and then put it in an oven. I think civilization's gone downhill since then. I don't think we've topped it.
No, it's true.
The invention of bread, like, how do we ever top that?
I know. Anyway, yeah. So you can, as you listen in, you can also hear some kind of muffled growling, and as they're chanting "Blood for the Blood God," you hear a wet, thunderous howl from inside the room, halting all of the conversation. And you get the feeling that whatever beast lurks inside has scented your presence outside the door. You don't have long before you will be discovered.
Oh shit!
You have time enough to do one action.
That's what I do. Barricade. Put a barricade in the room.
Okay.
To the hells with the taking of my life.
Load up the
polygon start spinning.
Yeah, Dreadbark will back off from the door, knock an arrow. Go, oh, they have a cave troll.
Yeah, well, Vargi will, if he has an action now, he will use it to prepare to fire at any target that becomes visible.
Okay. So
especially if it looks like some sort of giant, ornate dog beast howl creature. Priority 1.
So the doors are swung open. And you see cloaked figures swinging them open, and inside the room you see the faces of flesh hounds. The room smells like a slaughterhouse, as well it might. Old blood, some dried to rusty stains and some still tacky dry, splatters walls, ceilings and floors. Shackles on the walls and the marks of heavy weapons scar the floor, speak of prisoners, fights and deaths in vast numbers. In the centre of the circular room, Astrid Tavir sprawls comfortably on a throne of skaven and human skulls set upon a stone dais, her face covered with a scowling brass mask. A twisted, toothed greatsword lies across her lap. Its teeth gnash, and its bloodthirsty eye locks with the party. Flanking the throne prowl a pair of rumbling, snarling flesh hounds. Chewed up human carcasses lay strewn at their feet. A group of grey caps surround the room as Astrid lazily pulls herself up from her throne and grins through her mask. Finally, I have waited long enough, she says, before leaping forward into a full-blown attack.
Yeah. Yes.
Because that's what the writers of this book seem to think everything does.
Get through the pain.
Well, I think they probably got it right on this one.
I mean, everyone's blood crazed in this city.
Yeah, perhaps there's been
it's a real
more
problem.
Instant aggression from other groups, but I probably wouldn't begrudge the writers of the waiting corn cult.
Oh, and I think if I can make this just going to quickly make this into
I did some lovely bones there. Very nice.
Oh yes. Did this about
a few more blood splatters in here.
Did this about a month ago, so.
Oh, preparing for our Bang campaign took me so goddamn long. Like just remembering how to do all it, and I forgot just how long you can spend looking for the right kind of map and the right kind of icons. Where can I find a suitable blood splatter to make this look?
Yeah.
Oh.
It is a bother.
Oh yeah. Lord, that's.
Is that? Or is that?
Oh wow.
That's fucking odd.
It's a crocodile, not a sword.
You said that the sword is actually gnashing, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking
And
wild.
its eye is looking around at you.
That's not Astrid.
That is Astrid.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That is Astrid.
Yeah.
That's Astrid. She's being held by someone.
What?
Astrid's sword. That was the.
Oh, right. It worked.
So.
That's just a grey cap with a nice hat.
So we can do 13 minutes of combat. Let's see if we can do a round.
Hiding in a little room. What's the zones like, mate?
Past me didn't think of it. Actually, no, it does tell me in the book. So, this space, called the Chapel of Slaughter, contains 3 zones. The entranceway, featuring the last brass doors leading to the stairs, which we're in. The central dais, featuring the throne where Astrid and the cultists start out. And a wide area behind the throne, featuring these other flesh hounds, kind of the flesh hound kennel. But this is not a map of the space they envisaged, so I shall draw some more on as the wild hunt begins. So I'm just going to call this circular bit in the middle, that's a zone, so there's no need to... Let's just do it like that.
As Vargi prepared an action to fire upon the opening of the door, can he get basically a surprise round? Are we saying that's a bit meta?
Yeah, I think you need to not be known to be there by the.
That's fair.
By the peeps. Let's just do it like that. Make things simpler. All right, so let's see what her initiative is.
Are we in a sort of separate zone, or are these 4 zones around the edge and one in?
Yes, and I will just draw this in.
We're drawing deployment maps.
Yeah, this is the assassinate mission, the crusade mission.
Let's do the assassinate kill team mission again. That was thing.
We just sniped the orc boss in the first round.
I think it's the only kill team game I've actually won with my husband, so I'll take it.
That's true. Oh, why don't I have the info for what's the face?
This music.
Witcher.
It's called the Wild Hunt, spelled WYLD. So yeah, probably. Right, so her initiative is 4. Okay, good. So, Dwarden initiative is still a thing.
To Goldmane.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. What's the status of the door currently? We kicked it open yet? The wall went up. Did we act on the door?
It was opened for you.
By who?
I said it was opened by some cultists.
Oh, lovely. I'm very polite to them. Well,
that's how she saw you, and that's why she's attacking you now.
Wait a minute. So, so the hurricane was put up last turn, right? I'm just thinking managing my metal.
Yeah, you said you did, right?
Yeah, so that's before it all kicks off. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So there's a new rounds. I've got my action and 2 metals, so I can use 1 metal to. I can't volcano. God damn it! I wish I could do more.
God damn it.
God damn it. What metal? Then I was going to stay in that. Yeah, free action. I'm going to 2 metals. That's fine. So I can't volcano. So I will just simply do what I do best and spin a few yarns, eh?
It's about time you started shouting, right?
You're talking about Sichuan or yourself?
Sichuan.
Yeah.
So I'll just go for the full suite of bits and bobs, right? Let's get a I assume there's some magic users in this group. They look pretty magic-y.
So Khorne famously hates magic, as do his followers.
Okay.
I gotta love you.
That is fascinating.
Probably Klaus don't really want to.
Well, I mean, it's the spell I have is about if I just spell, but so it's fine. So that's no use. Right, fine. Song of Indemnity. Let's get one of those on the go. Get one to buff. Here we go. So I did this 5 plus 1. Yep, that's all good. Target is 6. Plus 1. Oh, it's not so good. Ooh. Do I have 2 focus points? Can I turn a 4 into a 6? Or is that just 4?
Yes.
You can use it. Cool, great. That's just about done then. Cool, so everyone has classic plus 1 melee accuracy, and everyone has just 1 extra damage. So that's not the best. And that's really all I can do. Unless I can throw that metal shank that I melted down earlier.
That'll probably still be an action.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good point. Yeah.
You could throw your axe.
Well, it's definitely an action for sure. Cool.
Nice.
We're good. Next turn, I'll draw my buffs on the plus.
Vargi absolutely relishing the chance to finally unleash his beloved polygon.
Yeah.
Bellows in rage at this horrible scene. Targets the nearest Chaos Hound with his polygon, and he's going to use metal to training because I can't remember how tough they are. Oh, actually, it might just be. I think it's more efficient if he fires twice, so he just fire once, right? Gets a +1 in the first round. Target's defense is.
Who's shooting? Sorry, the hounds.
The Chaos Hounds.
Defense is average.
Average. We are currently at superb. Yeah. It's going to be 7 damage with 2 armor piercing.
I mean, that sounds like enough. And it is.
Yes.
The Bugatti Veyron of guns.
In a puff of blood. Presumably the rest of the Cornate cultists loving this display of bloodletting.
Oh, yeah.
And then he'll arc his fire straight to the other one.
Daddy, 1 damage and +1 accuracy.
Yes, I am. Oh wait, no, I didn't add the damage.
There you go.
Well, let's see if it's necessary for the next one. Oh. Ooh, okay, so we get 3 successes. 2 focus makes it 5 successes. Same again, basically, but with 1 less armor piercing.
Oh, so how much damage?
Let me just be sure about this. I get 3, goes up to 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. Oh no, but then we get the 8 because of the extra damage. So it's 8 damage with 1 armor piercing.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's
the exact amount required?
Yes. Pleasingly, 8 is exactly the amount you need.
That is nice.
To kill
Excellent.
a flesh hound.
Vargi smiles smugly beneath his helmet. Well, I haven't named the volley gun. Vargi would have a name for it. I should really think about it.
Would it be like a colloquial name, or would it be a very sort of mechanic engineering name?
Well, I think it would have both. Like, it would be like the 8th Matic volley gun Mark X Magnusson volley core or something. So I think he would have an affectionate name like a ship. Well, I'll think on that one.
Or it could be like the Mark 62. You've been working on this gun for so long.
It would be, yeah, it would be like that.
Like Tony Stark has the in Iron Man 3, you see like the it's like the Mark 49 or something.
I'm gonna think of a brand name and a nickname for it. That's my objective for next week. That's Vargi done.
Nice. And this seems to happen out of action, but as those flesh hounds die, 2 more leap out of their cages.
They're doing just
Astrid.
fine.
I enjoyed it.
Oh dear. Okay. Klaus, I believe you're initiative 5.
Yeah, can you use the metal to use a talent?
If it says to use an action, then yeah. Normally using a talent is an action. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna gift a shaman Vargi. Did 1 extra damage? Or 1 extra damage, yeah.
Yeah.
It's considered magical. +1 damage magical bullets. And then I'm gonna use tactician on Vargi.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, +4 to your dice pool.
Well, he's got all of this.
I mean, this is your super move time.
This is it, right? So yeah,
You've built up your mana.
Having cleared his path, he takes the shot at Astrid.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got no metal to spend, but he does still get an extra +1 because it's the first round of combat. So we've now got +5 dice. What's Astrid's defense?
Good.
Astrid's defense is good, but I think we're still going to be on 2s because we're at superb at the moment. So, bam. No 6s in there, but we do get it up to 8 successes. Plus the 3 bonus damage. 13 damage.
Okay, let me just quickly...
I can't believe we didn't get any 6s out of it, though.
Okay, so how much damage? 13?
13.
AAP?
Yeah, no AP.
Okay. So...
The magical bullets changing, I think.
No, it's...
Or against monsters or something, right?
Yeah, it normally says if something has a sort of a weakness to magic. Unlike in D&D, when as soon as you get to like level 5, everything has resistance to non-magical items. Okay, so you do actually wound her.
Well, that's pretty good for one shot. He'll take that.
Yeah.
It would have had to be an exceptional roll, I imagined. Outright killer.
Yeah.
Not all. Possibly not even possible.
Good news is, though, because these are all corn worshippers, the sight of blood increased their melee by 1 step.
Oh, goody. I'm sure they won't be gunning for Vargi.
Alright, it is her turn.
Oh.
The moment of truth as she tries to go into the hurricane. Will the mini-boss do it?
Remember what you're doing? Doing a opposed soul test, right?
Yeah.
Action to make a soul determination test opposed to my soul devotion. A soul devotion. We go. Yeah. We just test against a 4, right?
Yeah. Well, I got 0.
Sweet. Let's see if I
She's
can
so fucking dead.
I kind of wanted her to get in.
Oh, you never.
No, like just for the drama.
For the drama, right?
Also, she's coming for me. So I mean,
the hurricane is the drama cucking mechanic.
It is the drama cuck. Yeah.
I'm enjoying this. I just look at those 3 6s. I just handheld holding that hurricane in place, just stare her down.
I mean, I quite like it because it's like a Zia magic, right? So it's kind of anathema to her chaos powers. That's the only tiny way I can enjoy this happening. All right, initiative, tree folk. Oh, actually, no, sorry. I think there's other people in the room as well.
It's always me last.
Fleshhounds are 3, so you will go first before them. The Grey Caps will also try and get through the hurricane, but they have a soul of 1. So, Mikey, just roll devotion 4 times, and if you roll 0, I'll give it a go.
That one through. All right. 2. 2. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, it's never worked so far with a hurricane yet. Look at these 2s. All 2s, baby. And that's 4
Vargi could
2s.
make 1 stealth test.
Look at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this is gonna be its own slide in the post-campaign analysis.
Yeah.
Fuck hurricanes.
Is the efficiency of the hurricane, was it good for the game overall?
It's my one thing I can do.
Yeah. But I
but
suppose
it's too good.
That's the issue, right? There shouldn't be something that's so good it's the only good thing for you. Your other things should be also gooder,
to be
and
fair,
this should probably be less good.
I wanted to do hurricane and volcano at the same time, but I could better have metal, so it'll be worse.
All right, let's do Dreadbark's turn, and then the Fleshhounds will try, and then that will end it there. It's annoying as well because the Fleshhounds can unbind spells once per turn with their collars, but it's a miracle, so you can't unbind it.
I was going to say.
It's a miracle. It's so cheap.
Yeah.
Right. Dreadbark will just do a normal shot at this guy at the top.
Cool.
Are these the grey caps that are attacking us? These red ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to make use of my point blank range talent, which allows me to shoot a ranged attack at close range without penalty.
They're in an adjacent zone, so they're not point blank.
Well, I won't use that talent then.
And you wouldn't want to leave the hurricane.
That's true.
Surely.
I would have to leave the hurricane for that. Okay, in which case I'll try and kill the hounds instead.
Go on, get consumed by bloodlust and get out there with your sword.
No! Now we have to control it!
The spirit song is very red and nasty.
See, this is why Gougestorm was good, because he was like, I don't want to stay in the fucking hurricane. It's against everything I stand for.
Oh, all right.
No,
everyone,
I'm not saying you have to. You're not Dreadwood.
Boring. No, all right. I'm gonna do a cold shot on Doggy Wog over here. So on 2. It's the big 8 damage.
Yep, Corn's number is enough to kill his doggies.
Yes. And then we'll go for a second shot with metal. But this will be on 3s this time.
Yeah, you're also getting +1 accuracy from Sichuan.
Damage.
And +1 damage.
Okay, so that would have made that previous one superb, and this one will be great. What's their defense?
Average.
Right, so still 2s then. And it should have been 1 extra damage as well, then in that case. Boing! What is with this? 5 successes every time. I mean, great.
Hitting on 2 with focus is basically just guaranteed hits, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Sweet. So, yeah, it's another 8 damage.
Nice. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I guess we'll end it there after round 1. A very. I think we can tell how this is gonna go. I need to work out how an enemy can have like an anti-miracle skull or something. Like you just
Put them in a giant vehicle. It's fine, mate. You got it.
That's
You've
true,
got ways
actually.
around it. You're all good. Just
Yeah.
get a doom wheel through the back of the top of the tower. Just give every enemy a doom wheel. You'll be fine.
It's true.
We need a catapult launcher for that one fucker that got in our ship and nearly killed us all.
Yes. Remember, it's not. Game over.
It's very much the chicken coop hurricane.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's not.
don't let anyone in, for God's sake.
Long.
Yeah.
That felt like a really quite epic long session.
Yeah, that was actually really cool to run up this tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very classic kind of like going up the levels, you know.
I'd say, generally speaking, very unlike this party.
Yeah.
Like historically speaking.
It was stealthy. We were taking things out pretty nifty, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely was nifty.
Like Dreadbark being able to reliably take out one shot, 1 kill. Double tactician, helps a lot.
It did feel very that combo did feel very powerful. The fact that the encounter was the adventure was lots of like 2-man patrols of guards, and we had a combo of abilities that meant that Dreadbark could just shoot everyone. Like I could still have fluffed a roll, and even if I'd fluffed 1 roll, the whole thing would have been very different because the whole tower would have been on us. So in that way, I suppose it's a bit more.
I kind of like it though. Like the ascent of the tower was very easy, but it was still cool. It was almost cool because it was easy in its own way. Like when you're playing you're playing Assassin's Creed or whatever, you're going through and because you are such a pro, taking all the guards out quietly, but then you do reach the boss battle.
Yeah.
And then more sneaking. I thought that was like
could have gone wrong.
It wasn't dramatic, but it was.
Yeah.
It did feel like we were good at what we were doing, which is a nice thing to feel when you're towards the latter half of a campaign and your characters are getting stronger.
For sure.
One thing I tried to do with the entire moving up was went completely wrong. So you guys were good though. You guys nailed it.
Hinge Lord Vargi Norgrimsson.
Lord.
Adding that to his list of
that's something else.
honors.
You called the gun that? Olly gun.
Hinge Lord, yeah.
Lord.
Not bad.
It makes no sense, but it could be considered.
Oh, it's in the pile.
Because it
Like,
bends
the
people like Hinge.
Yeah, Vargi probably.
Karajon. Athematic hinge. All right, chaps.
Maybe that's what you should craft, Vargi. You should create a new type of hinge that can't be melted.
I thought you were going to say a dating app for sneaky Karajon deals.
Yeah,
you could do that. Yeah.
The gimmick of the app is that you have to sign a 38-page contract before you can go on your first date. But on the upside, you're both protected in the case of any later legal misunderstandings.
Aerodron.
All right. Are we all good for next week? I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think so.
Yep. No reason to believe I will not be available.
Nice. All right then.
Lovely. Thanks a lot, OP.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cheerio.
GG's